Okay. Welcome to the June 3rd, 2021 meeting of the Fall River Sewer Commission. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. This particular meeting is being conducted as a virtual hearing. Attending this meeting are the commissioners of the Fall River Sewer Commission, and all are being attending on a Zoom. They are myself, Ned Almeida, Mr. Paul Ferlin, Mr. Richard Souza, Mr. Ron Bernier, and Mrs. Renee Howiak. Mr. Ferlin, could you do the attendance, please?
Yep, roll call. President Almeida.
Present.
Member Souza.
Here.
Member Bernier.
Present.
Member Howiak.
Here.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay, that takes us to the agenda that was sent to us. First item on the agenda is citizen input. Mr. Ferlin, has there been any receipt for citizen input?
Nope, I had the staff check the email prior to the meeting, and there was not any citizens input submitted at that time.
Okay, that takes us to item number 2, the minutes of the previous meeting, which was held, I believe, on March 13th, or March 18th, I'm sorry.
18th, yeah.
The minutes were sent to us as usual. I've asked the commissioners if they've read through and have no changes or no comments to it, to entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting held on March 18th.
Go ahead.
Anybody second it?
I second it. I don't know who first it, but
All right, all them. Paul, we need a roll call on this.
Yes, we would need a roll call vote on this. So,
Okay, roll call.
President Almeida.
Yes.
Member Souza.
here.
Member Bernier.
Yes.
Member Howiak.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Third item on the agenda is stormwater fee assessment appeals. Paul, is there any appeals that have come in?
Yeah, so we do have 3 outstanding appeals. They have been outstanding for some time. This was an implementation of stormwater fees in the Yellow Hill Road area. We have been doing remote meetings and during different times of the day. We did reach out to these people. They were unable to attend this meeting, but I still feel that if the board would like that, we offer them to come to a future meeting.
Okay, so we saying we want to table this?
Yeah, I would recommend, stormwater assessment appeals are on here. Again, none of them confirmed that they would be at this meeting, so they're on the actual agenda. There are none listed, but there are some. But so I don't think it would take a table. I just think it would take no action and allow the current appeals to come at a future meeting.
Okay, so again, how do we deal with this? Do we table it, wait for them at a later date to come and make an appeal?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to need a vote to, I believe, to table item number 3, correct?
Yep.
All right, well, someone make a motion to table item number 3 for stormwater fee assessment appeals.
I'll make the motion.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, roll call, Paul.
Member Souza,
Here,
Member Bernia,
Yes.
Member Howiak,
yes,
President Almeida.
Yes. Okay, that takes us to item number 4, request to haul septage. I believe we've all received a letter from an applicant. Company is called the Dartmouth Honey Wagon, located in Dartmouth, Massachusetts. They're asking for permission to come in and utilize the wastewater treatment plant as a dumping for their wastewater. Paul, are you familiar with these people?
Not familiar with the particular company, but, they did submit a letter requesting it. They are aware of, the staff has talked to them, they are aware of the regulations, but they haven't brought waste to our facility fast.
Okay. Do you have any reasons to think that that there will be a problem with this company?
No reasons that I know of. Again, with any company, we just watch the waste that they bring in the future. And they know they have copies of the regulations, and their trucks need to be inspected by the Board of Health and approved for travel on city streets. So once all those requirements are met, then if the board approves, then they'd be able to haul to the.
Okay.
question.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Is there a certain fee, a base fee, or is it per volume?
Yeah, so we charge $66 per 1,000 gallons of waste dumped at our facility.
Okay. And it's immaterial where it comes from? Rhode Island or Mass?
It's immaterial, and so that's the out-of-town rate.
Okay.
Fall River residents receive a reduced rate, but it doesn't make a difference whether it's Fall River or whether it's Massachusetts or Rhode Island.
Now you say Fall River residents, how are they going to distinguish this?
So we have a system in place. We used to have a slip system. We've now transferred to an online database system that we use when trucks come in. So when trucks come in, they need to provide our operator that's hooking them up to our system a list of where all the septage came from. And that list will indicate any Fall River customers on that list.
Okay.
So that's how we're able to charge a reduced rate to the septage hauler for dumping. In turn, the septage hauler should be charging the Fall River residents a reduced rate.
Okay, thank you.
Myself, as long as they abide by the rules and they understand just what's involved in dealing with the commission, I got no problem with them disposing septage at the wastewater treatment facility. On another note, our septage business has been increasing, from what I understand, Paul.
Yep.
And that any additional business such as this will be that much more of a benefit. On that basis there, I got no objection to it. Anybody have any objection to this? If not, if so, please show state. But if not, I'll obtain a motion to approve the company Dartmouth Honey Wagon to dispose septic at the wastewater treatment facility. Anybody make that motion?
Make the motion.
Second?
Roll call?
Member Souza,
Yes.
Member Bernia,
Yes.
Member Howiak,
yes,
President Almeida.
Yes. All right, item number 5. Recommendation to award the utility cloud.
Yep.
Can you give us a little dissertation on what this is all about? Because I'm a little vague about it.
Yep. So this is in relation to an asset management software as well as a work order management software. We went out for RFP a number of months ago. Excuse me, RFQ, request for qualifications, to get proposals in from companies that provide this service so we can evaluate the services and see how we want it to move forward. As it works now, currently, we have multiple different systems out there. We have Veolia uses one system, Infonet, which us in the city don't have complete access to. We don't have logins. We have access to all the information, but we don't have logins to be able to get onto their servers and their sites. In the water department, we've been using a very a data gathering system called Fulcrum for the past 2 years to kind of get the guys acclimated to using technology and being able to document stuff electronically. So we've been working on that. Overall, and we had an asset management study done a couple of years ago that kind of says everybody should be on the same system. So water, sewer, stormwater. It just naturally makes sense for all divisions to be within the same system. So that way, if I want to look at something, I go on, I have water, sewer, stormwater there. I can look at anything, any broad array of information that I need. Water logs in. Water is limited to only look at the water applications that they're able to use. Sewer logs in. They have sewer and stormwater applications that they're able to use. So we went through this whole entire long exhaustive process, and we received multiple responses to our request, ranging all the way from $231 being the low $1,000, and this is for a 5-year contract, annual contract, plus the set up and startup, starting from there all the way to 1.1 million. So there was a broad range throughout the whole entire on cost as well as abilities. So they initially submitted documentations. We went through. There was I think 12 companies total initially that submitted. 14. So we went through, evaluated all of them based on the documentation submitted. There was a committee that included staff from my office, water department, sewer department. So all areas were involved with this evaluation. And then we narrowed it down to a list of five potential candidates. Once we got that list narrowed down to 5 potential candidates, we set up a Zoom interview of those potential candidates. We told them to give us a city specific. We didn't want just some general city that they've been working with for 20 years and has all the ins and outs and all the bells and whistles. We didn't want to see one of those because, sometimes those get to just doesn't work. So we wanted them to build something specific for us. And we spent a fair amount of time going through. I think it was about 2 hours with each company, hour and a half to 2 hours with each company, having them present what their software would be able to do. Then we all sat down, we all scored them and ranked them, and we came out that Utility Cloud was one of the highest ranked softwares available. What it is, it's a cloud-based system. And they'll take all the applications that we already currently have. They'll build them within their system, so we'll have access to them. And then they'll also, so they provide us the cloud storage and service. They provide us unlimited amount of users to be able to log into the system. We did speak to a number of references that have used Utility Cloud for a number of years. I believe one of them was in North Carolina, Florida, out towards the Cape, maybe Orleans, I want to say. And there was one other local community that we also talked to that uses them, and they were all very happy with their service, with their reliability. That plays into a lot with one of these online or a cloud system. So working through with them, we went through and we decided that utility cloud would best fit the solution for what we were looking for. Once we got through that, then we talked price with them. We were able to negotiate the price down to a reasonable fit. And then we have SRF funding and a grant that's able to be able to pay for this. So the cost is going to be it's for a 5-year contract term. We pay the first 3 years up front, as well as the implementation gets paid up front. And then the year 4 and year 5, we pay within those respective years. The total for the whole entire contract is $201,030. It's going to be shared between water and sewer, half and half. But we do have $146,000 left in the grant SRF loan to be able to use to pay towards that.
Excuse me, Paul.
Yep.
That money that's available is under what contract? Under
It's-
what project would that be?
So it's an SRF grant, so it's under the $123 million authorization.
Yeah.
So within the $123 million authorization, part of that authorization was we knew asset management was coming down the line, and we had allocated, I believe it was about $700,000 over the life of that authorization to spend towards asset management.
Okay, all right, okay.
Yep.
All right, I got another question that just popped up into my head while you were talking. Who's going to have access to this? Will this just be you, or will the staff like Olga or maybe Kate and John have access to it?
So with this software and the way that we negotiated and structured the contract, it's going to be unlimited numbers of users that we could put onto this system. So sometimes with these cloud-based systems, you have 5 seats, you're limited to 5 seats or 10 seats. We negotiated where it's an unlimited number of users. My plan is, all my office would have access to it. George Garcia, who's our asset management GIS coordinator, he would be kind of, he would be the champion of the system, is what they call him. The guy that knows the ins and outs, the lefts, the rights, the ups and downs. He's going to be the one that manages the system for water and sewer. It'll go as far as, all division leaders and project managers in water and sewer will have access to it, as well as the guys in the streets. Right now, the guys out in the streets on water department and sewer, water department, they have iPads. They're out there, if they're doing a curb stop replacement, they're out there documenting all that information right now into our current system. They'll have access, they'll have a seat, they'll be able to document it into the new cloud-based system.
How about the Department of Public Works?
So this can be expanded out to Department of Public Works without a doubt. This system, and that was some of the talks that we had with them, DPWs and other communities use it, as well as water and sewer. Parks and cemeteries use it in other communities. Facilities maintenance uses it in other communities. So it is, and that's one of the things when we were looking, there's so many different systems out there. I didn't want to limit, we wanted a robust system. We wanted something that could do a lot of different things. But with some of the systems, what I've seen in the past is you get something that does so much, but there's so much maintenance and time for your staff to be able to use that system.
Okay, that sounds good. I think it's a good thing for us and for the city as a whole. But if we're paying $201,000 for what supposedly is to be used by the sewer commission and the water department, am I correct?
Correct, yes.
That's it.
Excuse me?
I would say that should be it. We lost.
You were breaking up there, Mr. Souza.
Oh, okay, I would say that should be it as far as the amount of departments to utilize it. Especially during the first 1 or 2 years. After that, if you want to expand it, okay, but you gotta have it under your belt and have control of it.
Okay, all right, I guess the point I was trying to make, Paul, was that if it looks like other departments in the city are going to find it to their advantage to use this system, and they want to, you know, and history shows that they're using it a lot and so forth, I wouldn't mind entertaining a possibility of having them participate in the cost on this. Now, that's, I would say, maybe, you know, we got to take a look at how much they end up using it and so forth and so on. But I think it's something we ought to keep in the back of our mind because, you know, it is costing us over $200,000.
Yeah, you're a board member after my own heart. I say, you know, if other departments that are not enterprise funded by the general fund want to come on board, my expectation is that either through indirect cost or direct payments that they would pay for the portion of the software that they use.
All right, that's something that's, I guess we can, you know, consider, I guess, down the road. But
A quick question is, you have the 146,000 SRF that you're going to be able to apply for the first 3 years, but then the next 2 years will have to be added to funding.
Yeah, so my expectation is to have that out of the operational budget, is to build that in the future years into the operational budget, as it is a yearly operational cost.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Anybody have any other questions about this? Paul, you definitely feel this is definitely going to be a benefit to what you do, your everyday work, and what the department needs and what the water department needs and so forth, correct?
Without a doubt, you know, this level of documentation and shared documentation, and this level of being able to get the data and research data is something unlike we've ever seen before. You know, it's really going to put a new level on, you know, our availability to possibly identify trouble areas, help with you know, researching the data. You know, I go back to the story all the time where, you know, 10 years ago, you know, guys would respond to somewhere, then they'd have to run back to the plant, or water department would have to run back to 1620 to get the service card, to physically get the service card, then go back out to where the leak is. You know, nowadays we have it electronically, and this is just advancing that efficiencies that we're going to see throughout the departments.
All right, okay. I think you've answered my questions on it. I can see how it could be a benefit. I mean, I utilize the cloud with myself on my system and so forth. And, yeah, every once in a while I got to go and find something and it's up there, thank God. Does anybody have any objections to this or any other comments that they want to make? The way I see it, we're looking to approve the amount of $201,030, correct?
Yep.
And the company is what?
Utility cloud.
Utility cloud, okay. Anybody have any comments, any other comments about this or objections?
Yep.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to award the contract to Utility Cloud in the amount of $201,030.
Make a motion, we accept as a software contract for $201,030 to Utility Cloud for the city of Fall River Sewer / Water Department.
Okay.
Roll call,
Member Souza,
Yes.
Member Bernier,
Yes.
Member Howiak,
Yes.
President Pearson. Excuse me, President Almeida. Sorry,
Yes.
I apologize.
Okay. It takes us to item number 6 on the agenda, which is the owner's project manager designation. We've been submitted a letter, a request from Mr. Ferlin asking that he be listed as the owner project manager for the wastewater treatment facility improvement project contract number 2. So, Mr. Ferlin, can you tell us why this is necessary and what was the requirements?
Yep, so under DCAM requirements, and this is a DCAM certified project that falls underneath Chapter 149 of the Massachusetts State Bidding Law. Any project over $1.5 million requires the designation of an owner's project manager. That's somebody that will look out for the owner's best interest throughout the project. The law states that we could have hired somebody for this, so we could have hired an engineering firm or a specialty OPM firm to be our project manager, our owner's project manager. On some projects you have an owner's project manager, an engineer architect, and the contractor. It also states that you can do it with your own staff if you feel that you can. So this is, kind of I don't want to say formality, but it's something that's required by Mass State Bidding Law to designate an owner's project manager. So far moving forward with all the projects that we've been doing, we have used in-house owner's project, one of our own staff as owner's project manager for water and wastewater. And I think that's what we should continue to do.
Okay.
Myself, I've had experience with Contract 1, as well as multiple other drainage and other projects throughout the city.
Okay, so what I understand, the state is requiring this based on projects that are over $1.5 million. Is that what you said?
Yep.
Okay. Have we been remiss in not having this on the projects that we've been completed?
So under Contract 1, you guys designated me as an OPM.
Well, what about the things like the President Avenue pump station and things of that nature that we've completed?
So I think President Avenue in South End, I think we also designated myself as OPM.
Okay.
That was back when Terry was here. A couple of years ago, I think during the design phase, we designated myself. And then any horizontal construction, so drainage projects or anything like that, they fall under 3039M, a different chapter of the law, and they're not required to have an OPM.
So in the future, your name's going to appear on the project or the management of the project till you come and go.
Yeah, so this would be for Contract 2, just Contract 2. You need to designate for each individual project, so it's not all projects that override. So any project that's DCAM over $1.5 million, we would need to designate an OPM.
Okay, very good. That's just another hat you're wearing, Mr. Perlin. Am I correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I figure I'm already in the middle of the project, so.
All right. Well, we appreciate your help on that. Thanks very much.
Yep.
Anybody have any questions about this?
Nope.
If not, I would gladly entertain a motion to allow Mr. Paul Perlin to act as owner's project manager for the wastewater treatment facility improvement project number 2, and for any future projects that come down the road that are greater than $1.5 million. You want to make that motion?
I make a motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Member Souza,
Yes.
Member Bernier,
Yes.
Member Howiak,
Yes.
President Almeida.
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Okay, item number 7. The summary of chemical bids and quotes for fiscal year 2022. We've been given the list of the, the award quotes, or the award low prices for the items that are $50,000 and less, and also the items, 3 items that account for approximately $400,000 of our chemical budget. Paul, how do you want it? You want it to just basically announce all the ones that are under 50,000, and then we'll approve them as you so stated.
Yep.
Go ahead.
So the under 50,000 hydrated lime was bought in Remington, a total price of $2,325 at $15.50 per bag. Dry deodorant, Algonquin products, total of $4,110. That's a unit price of $1.37 a pound. Alpha Chemical for wet deodorant, the low bidder was Alpha Chemical, total amount of $2,131. Unit price $7.75 a gallon. A liquid oxygen, air gas was the low bidder, total of $9,000. Unit price was 0.450 cents per CCF. Excuse me, $0.450 per CCF. So 45 cents per CCF. Sodium hydroxide, the low bidder was bought in Remington. Total price $15,981 for a unit price of $1.5981 a gallon. Sodium bisulfite drums, JCI Jones, total price $2,970. Unit price $2.70 per gallon. Polymer was Polydyne. Total price of $40,500. That's $0.1800 per pound, 18 cents per pound. So
Okay.
That's all the ones that were under $50,000.
All right. From what I can see here, this totals up to just a little better than $77,000.
Yep.
All these are included in our chemical budget. Am I correct?
Yeah, so once we received all the bids this year, we are within budget, within the chemical budget. We're very, very tight within that budget. Some of these did go up, but we are within budget.
Do you have any qualms as to whether any one of these companies are going to be able to perform their task of providing the chemicals that they want to quote on?
On the ones that we just listed, I don't see any issues. Most of these we have dealt with in the past. Contracting on some of them is a little tough because they want to add in, they want to add in contingency clauses where it escalates if they can't supply and stuff like that, which I cut out of their contract and always go back and forth with them because they bid on a price, that's what they get paid.
What company was that, Paul?
Air Gas in the past has done that.
All right.
So I cut that out of their contract and, they bid on a price, that's what they're supposed to pay according to that. That's what we're supposed to pay.
All right. Okay, does anybody have any questions with regard to this?
Nope.
Okay, someone please make a motion to award the contract, the contract for chemicals that are under the $50,000 level and which total approximately $77,000 as so stated by Mr. Perlin. Anybody want to make that motion?
Do we need to make a motion? Because it's under 50,000?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. And I'll make a motion then.
Second.
roll call.
Member Souza?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Member Bernier?
Yes.
Member Howiak?
Yes.
President Almeida?
Yes. Okay, that takes us to the
Three.
chemicals that are much higher in nature, that are above $50,000 each. And that page is consisted of hypochlorite, potassium permanganate, sodium bisulfite. In this particular case, I think it would behoove us if we did each one individually in terms of making the motion because of the dollar values involved. So unless anybody has any questions or comments about who we're awarding these chemicals or contracts to, I'd like to start by first making a motion to award the contract for hypochlorite to Boarding Remington at a total price of $218,550 and a unit price of 0.7285 cents per gallon, I'm assuming. Anybody want to make that motion?
Motion to accept $218,550 for Borden and Remington.
Second.
Roll call.
Member Souza?
Yes.
Member Bernier?
Yes.
Member Howiak?
Yes.
President Almeida?
Yes. Unless anybody has any objections to awarding the next contract to United Minerals, I'll entertain a motion to award the contract for potassium permanganate in the amount of 40,800 pounds at a cost, total price of $61,975.20 at a unit cost of $1.50, $5,190 per pound to United Mineral. Anybody would make that motion, please?
The motion.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Member Souza?
Yes.
Member Bernier?
Yes.
Member Howiak?
Yes.
President Almeida?
Yes. And finally, the contract for sodium bisulfate to PBS Chemical Solutions, in the amount of 85,000 gallons at a total price of $119,000 and a unit price of $1.40 per gallon. Anybody would like to make that motion, please?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Member Souza?
Yes. Member
Bernier?
Yes.
Member Howiak?
Yes.
President Almeida?
Yes. Okay. For just for my benefit, that this came to a total of $399,525. That coupled with the $77,000 that we approved for items under 50,000 comes pretty close to the budget amount of 489,000 that we are hopefully allocating for a budget next year. Anybody have any other comments or questions about this particular item on the agenda? If not, I'll move forward. Okay, item number 8, toxicity testing quote. Again, this is an annual thing that we are required to discuss and approve. My only question I got is on one page, we got quotes for and being requested to approve the quote for New England bioassay. But on one page, it says that the price is $11,000, and on the other page, it says it's $10,800. Which one are we approving for?
Right, so the summary of toxicity quotes for FY21 was last year's, just so you had a reference. And then the letter dated May 13th, 2021 is this year's bids. So they're low at $10,800.
Okay. And so they lowered it by $200. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Anybody have any problems with this or questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
How soon do we need this, this testing as this project to be awarded,
So this testing is done quarterly.
done quarterly?
Yeah. It's
So
a
this
required-
price is quarterly or yearly?
So this is for the full year. So we're
For
building.
full
each
year.
quarter. Yep.
I think we should, you know, $32. I think if we go back to them and have them rebid it, is that feasible? Because somebody's gonna lose it because of $32, and if they've lowered it once, maybe they can do something better. I don't like to see it for $32. I mean, it's like, you know.
No, I definitely understand. And these are the only two companies that bid for us. These are the only two companies that do this type of testing that I know of in the area. It is very close. It is up to the board, but again, every year we do put out the quotes, and we follow mass procurement. If the board opts to rebid.
Mhm.
We can, but through mass procurement 30B process, this was a sealed bid process. So we put out specs, got sealed bids in, and that's the process.
Okay. Let me throw one out there also. I think for right now, I have no objection to awarding this contract on an annual basis. It's something that we've done in the past, and I guess it just appears to be just part of the protocol that we go through. But I think somewhere we may, and for the future, we may want to consider going out and doing this on a 3-year basis. Maybe we can, they lowered it down to $100. Okay, I think it's admirable in a sense. But if we go out on, let's say, on a multi-year basis with these people, I think we might be able to get them to sharpen their pencils a little bit more. And from what I can remember, bioassay, and I think there was another company that was used in the past. They're pretty reputable. I haven't heard any complaints from many of the lab people or from you and from the office staff like yourself about the capability of them meeting our needs on a quarterly basis. So I just want to throw that out for maybe in this time next year, maybe we could entertain maybe going out and dealing with it's like it's only $10,800. Maybe if it was on like a 3-year contract or something, we could do better.
No, that's definitely something that we can look at next year. We just have to make sure that within the contract, we have very specific clauses to make sure that they keep up their certifications. Because for these labs to get certified to be able to perform these tests. So we'd have to just make sure that all the language in the contract was pretty strong to make sure that they keep that stuff up through the multi-years, so.
Okay. Richard, I hear what you're saying. You know, is any, how do you other commissioners feel? I mean, we normally do this on an annual basis, so.
Yeah, that sounds good. I go along with that.
I think it's already gone through the bidding process, and other
Yeah.
than that, you start negotiating, and that's not really following the same protocol, so. They had an opportunity, they did come in with a lower price. And we're still gonna continue to work with somebody we're already working with, so I feel comfortable with the bid price the way it is.
Okay. I concur. Renee, how you feel?
Sorry, I was on mute. No, I agree. Our responsibility is to the city, not to the private company. I don't feel bad for them that they're losing out because of $32. It is what it is. We've already gone through it all. So I would just recommend continuing with, what the department is recommending.
Okay. All right, thanks. On that basis there, I think we've come to some agreement that we should entertain a motion to approve the award for the toxicity testing to New England Bioassay and the amount of $10,800. Will someone make that motion?
Make that motion.
Second it?
Roll call?
Member Souza,
Yes.
Member Bernier,
Yes,
Member Howiak,
Yes.
President Belmead.
Yes. Okay, that takes us to item number 9. South End Pump Station Change Order number 2.
So, this is,
Paul, just before you get into it.
Yep.
I've read through, the paperwork that's been sent and so forth and so on. It appears we're looking for a change order in the amount of $176,000. Am I correct?
yes,
Okay. The only thing that I've got a question about, maybe you're going to answer this, but it's so I can get some understanding. This money, we're looking for replacing 4 leaking 6-inch grid pipelines within the Fall River wastewater treatment plant, it says. And I guess, Mike, if that's the case, what's that got to do with the South End pump station?
so, the change order is for Hart Construction. We have an issue with the lines that take the grit from our grit chambers at the pre-treatment facility at the wastewater treatment plant, move it through and into our dumpsters. Those lines are leaking. They need to be replaced, or the valves within those lines. We went and we asked some of the contractors that we have under contract to be able to take a look at that work and to be able to do a change in their conditions. Hart Construction, who was performing the work at the South End pump station, was provided us with the lowest estimate for that work. And that's why we've opted to use them to move forward with that work. It is not at the South End pump station. It's an emergency at the wastewater treatment plant. We've been through with SRF, State Revolving Fund DEP. They are supporting the funding of this project through the SRF program and through the South End pump station. So that's why it shows as a change order to the contract on the South End pump station.
Okay, Hart is the contractor for the South End pump station, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Are we, can we say that, I don't know, I don't know how to phrase it. Okay, is Hart going to come up with some means in which to improve on this condition of, or this problem?
So the replacement of the pipes, are something just due to the age of those pipes. They are at the headworks of the plant, so they're highly impacted by hydrogen sulfide deterioration. At this point, we're going to be replacing them in kind. It is, I don't want to say a wear issue, but it is, something just due to the age of the age of the pipes and how brutally they're impacted by hydrogen sulfide, and also the grit and material that's running through them also does affect their longevity. So.
Okay. Anybody got any questions on this?
No.
No? All right. Paul, if you feel as though this is going to be a benefit to the project?
Definitely.
Benefit to our operations at the plant, yes, because again, currently those grit chambers, those grit pipes are leaking, and they need to be replaced.
Okay. And this will be a change order to the South End pump station. Having said all that, anybody want to make a motion to approve change order number 2 in the amount of $176,000, which would increase the cost of the project from $3,059,000 to $3,235,000. Anybody want to make that motion?
I'll make a motion that we accept the labor and materials to demolish and replace the 4 6-inch grit pipelines for a total dollar value of $176,000.
Second.
Roll call.
Member Souza,
Yes.
Member Bernier,
Yes.
Member Howiak,
Yes.
President Allen.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 10, Route 79 improvements. From what I can surmise, this is supposedly an amendment to a contract with CDM in the amount of $286,678 to perform contract work that has to do, I guess, with the Route 79 improvements. Is that correct, Paul?
Yep.
So there is an existing contract with CDM now. This is an amendment to that contract for the work that's going to be needed to answer questions of what's going to go on underground when this 79 improvements take place, correct?
Yes, correct.
All right. And this, the way I read it, this is going to be just an initial amendment, because from what I can surmise from what the handout is that came with it, there's going to be more work by CDM on this. Would you say that would be correct?
So this is just for the design work of this portion of the project. If we opt to use them further on for any inspection services or anything, yeah, I expect there to be an additional amendment. The only other thing, so if you want, I can give you a kind of a brief history of where this came from. Mass DOT has hired a company called Trans Systems to redesign the Route 79 Duval Street roadway from the Cove Restaurant heading north to the Veterans Memorial Bridge. Their overall plan is to do more of an urban boulevard and open up available space for future development or to be reutilized in other ways. As it being right on the water, the bottom of the hill, we have multiple drainage corridors and CSOs that go through that area. One of them being City Pier, one of them being President Ave, Pier Street, Turner Street, you know, the low point of Brunel Street. We have multiple flooding issues throughout that whole entire corridor. What we're going to do is have CDM Smith work with Trans Systems. Trans Systems doing all the design for the Mass DOT work, but Mass DOT and Trans Systems says, well, we don't want to design your system upstream. You need to tell us how much water you're going to be putting into our system. You need to tell us, over next to City Pier where the screening and disinfection plant, future screening and disinfection plant and sewer separation, what do you guys need put in there? They didn't want to take on the design responsibility for that because they didn't have the background or the knowledge in relation to our specific systems. So we're going to have CDM work to bring those up to date and let Trans System know the work that they need to do so that in the future we're not restricted by the work that they do in that 79 corridor.
Okay. I guess when as I glanced through the package that came with it, my first reaction was, gee, is this work that we're being asked to do the result of the 79 project, or is this something that we were going to have to do anyways, regardless the project, didn't take place?
Yeah, this was all work that we were going to have to do anyways. So this is, and I've been very clear with DOT that we're going to deal with outside of their corridor. So any work, outside of where they're working, and that's why we have to tell them how much water is we need to flow into the pipes that they're going to be putting in. So DOT will be doing the design of all the work and all the drainage within their corridor. We'll just be telling them what's going to be flowing into those areas. With the exception of just the City Pier area, because of the screening and disinfection plant and the location of that, but that's design work that we would have to do anyways, that work within the City Pier.
Yeah, that's kind of the conclusion I came to afterwards, although I was hoping that somewhere along the line, maybe some of these charges could be filtered back to the state for the 79 improvement, but it's probably not a logic.
Yeah, I agree with you. A lot of the design work, that they are going to be doing in that 79 corridor, as well as the construction, is going to be stuff that we would have had to pay for, but since they're doing the roadway project and the drainage, they're going to be paying for all that work. So we'll be getting for this amount of money, we'll be getting a lot of benefit for this amount of money.
Okay. Is a timeline when this has to be completed?
Yeah, so very tight timeline that DOT is working on. They're looking to have 25% released August or so. Still trying to nail them down on a timeline. They're bouncing all over the place on their timeline. But then they have about a year of procurement for design build contractors.
Okay. All right. Definitely keeping us busy, that's for sure.
Yes.
Anybody have any questions on this?
Nope.
Or comments or anything? Okay. If not, I would appreciate if a motion would be made to award CDM, the amount of $286,678 as an amendment to their existing contract.
I'll make a motion.
Second,
Roll call.
Member Souza,
yes.
Member Bernier,
Yes.
Member Howiak,
Yes.
President Almeida.
Yes. Okay, item number 11. We have a request for a $40,000, $416 change order identified as number 4 for the wastewater treatment plant project. This is phase number 1, right, Paul?
Yeah, this is for contract 1, correct.
We've been, also given a description of what the $40,000 consists of. Looking at it, there is what appears to be charges and credits and so forth and so on. It's a matter of note, without this additional change order, we've already had almost $754,000 worth of change orders on this project alone.
Yep.
It's a big project, and everything that's being done on it is, for the most part, being done underground. Would I be correct in saying that, Paul?
Yeah, a lot of this project is the underground electrical distribution throughout the plant.
And with things of that nature, you definitely run into a lot of complications. So, does anybody have any questions about this? I don't.
Nope.
Well, okay, anybody entertain a motion to approve change order number 4 in the amount of $416.85 as change order number 4 to the wastewater treatment project number 1.
I make a motion, we accept the charge and contract price for change order for $40,416.85.
Second.
Roll call.
Member Souza? Member Souza?
Yes.
Member Bernier?
Yes.
Member Howiak?
Yes.
President Almeida.
Yes. Moving along, takes us to item number 12, which is the Wilson Roads Sewer Pump Station. Mr. Furling, could you enlighten us about this, please?
Yeah, so what you have in front of you is a standardization, so to be able to, for us to use a vote from this board would allow us to be able to standardize specific pieces of equipment on a contract, so that we can tell the contractor this is what you have to use. We've done this before on President Ave and on South End, and we're trying to standardize the equipment that we have as far as generators, pumps, VFDs, different types of equipment. If we find one that we like and it works very well for us, we do use that one. And that's what's within this list here. So you have generators, access controls, which is standardized by the software used anyways. Portable pumping equipment, which that matches up to the portable pump unit that we already have. Submersible sewer pumps, which is matches up to the ones that we've been putting into other stations. Booster pumps, which matches the ones we've been putting into other stations. Instrumentation and control stuff matches what we've been putting in the other stations, and VFDs. What this does is it'll allow us, rather than having, we got 16 pump stations throughout the city, rather than having 16 different VFDs, spare parts sitting on the shelf, This allows us to have one spare part for all of those pump stations. You know, same thing with some of the other equipment. It allows us to do that. One thing that, you know, people always say or question, well, you're narrowing this down so much, so how then they can just jack the price up on you. You know, we watch the prices very closely. We do compare the prices. If there was any type of price gouging that we would observe, we would definitely not use that product anymore. Through the past station, we haven't observed that, and I wouldn't expect to observe it anytime in the future. The other thing here, a lot of these are, so this is a manufacturer that we're you know, specifying that needs to be used. So they would still have the ability to go to different distributors to get pricing. And we're not limiting them on the distributors. It's just the actual manufacturer and the actual product itself.
So that's what you mean by proprietary.
Correct.
Mhm.
Is the manufacturer, not necessarily not the distributor. It could
Okay.
be 5 different distributors for the same product.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I think that's very beneficial. I went by that, Paul. I finally found it. I remember you telling me that that this thing is located just past the overpass on the left up Wilson Road, and I went by it the other day and took a look. It's definitely going to have a big cosmetic change, that's for sure.
Yeah.
When you see what's there as opposed to what we're going to spend money on. Yeah, but I can see the need for it. What just for my benefit, what area does that pumping station service?
So the sewer that feeds into that station comes from all of Wilson Road. Wilson Road, all the way down Meridian Street. The sewer force main that goes all the way down Meridian Street flows back that way to Wilson Road, and then gravity feeds into that station. Joseph Drive pump station pumps up and feeds into that station.
Oh, it's mostly for residential. It has nothing to do with the
Industrial park.
industrial park or anything.
Nope. So it does take flow from the industrial park.
Okay.
It takes Sykes Road, as far as all the way up to Airport Road. It takes a fair amount of those buildings. So with some large users that feed into that station, Light Alair when Light Alair was running, Yates Rubber, Maytag, I think it's still Maytag, the washer dryer manufacturer over there, Homeland, the old Homeland Builders building. So it does take some industrial waste into there as well.
Okay. All right. So we're looking. You're looking for the amount of what? $425,000.
No. So this does not have this doesn't have a price tag on this. All this is a vote of the board to approve that these specifications would be put into our contract to be used as proprietary specifications.
Okay. All right. Okay. So at this point in time, this has nothing to do with Wright Pierce, the Wright Pierce contract.
No.
That they're gonna end up doing the design and so forth on their stuff, right?
Yeah, so they're already under contract to design this station, and they've been moving forward. We're currently putting together a grant application to Mass Works to hopefully get grant funding to assist with this station.
Okay. Very good. I think it's a smart idea to put these under proprietary procurement procedures. So you're looking for you're looking for an approval from the commission to.
Go ahead.
Yep, approval from the commission to use the proprietary specifications as laid out in the letter.
Okay. Anybody have any questions with respect to this, or
Nope.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the proprietary specification procurement of equipment for the sewer pump station replacements.
I'll make a motion.
Second,
Roll call?
Member Souza,
yes.
Member Bernier,
Yes,
Member Howiak,
Yes,
President Almeida.
Yes. Item
All right,
13.
Just a note on that, I will have somebody come around for signatures as it does require board signatures on that.
Okay. Item 13. References to a gift of land on Ash Street. Before we go, Paul, just before you get into it, I'm assuming we're talking about the land that's on the south side of Ash Street.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, so.
Yeah, it's an empty lot, all woods, stuff like that, right?
So on your screen here, if you're able to see, highlighted with red, the green parcel is the parcel that is being donated to us.
Okay, so why would we want to take this on?
So right through the center of that is the Cook Pond stream. So the outlet that comes from Cook Pond comes all the way from Cook Pond through Chew Park by the fire station over on Globe Street, comes down by the other park there, crosses through the Globe intersection, goes behind the old Ukrainian club, comes back underground, and then comes right out into this lot, and daylight's in this lot. It feeds down through this lot, and then underneath to the left there, that building is the Duro building, the old Duro building on Chase Street. Feeds underneath the Duro building on Chase Street, and then daylight's on the bottom side of that, and the land down there between Bay, Chase, and Sprague. The land that the stream goes through down there was also recently gifted to the city about 4 years ago.
Okay. If my memory serves me correctly, doesn't this run down to Bay Street? And we have an easement on a piece of property that's on Bay Street next to a residential home that's on a corner of what is it?
Sprague and Bay.
Sprague and Bay.
Yeah.
And where we had a challenge to the easement.
Yep.
Isn't that the flow going right through it there? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Okay, so if we accept this property, is there anything we got to do to it do we have to fence in the area to prevent going in there?
Nope. So the area to both the north and south of this parcel are being developed. Residential developments are going into both of those parcels. There's nothing that we would need to do. We would just leave it as a naturalized area. It's just for future maintenance and future protection of that stream flow and that stream right away to make sure that nobody else is able to, alter it or change it. That's the reason that we would be interested in this parcel. We do through the site plan review process, the property to the south of it where the residential development's going in, we did require them to give up the easement to be able to access this piece of land in the future. So if we ever need to maintain it, go in there, do any work on the stream channel or anything like that. So we will have access from Globe Street through an access easement that gives us the ability to access this property.
This is a big piece of property. It's almost 32,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Are we gonna have anything on it that says keep out, or this property of the Florida Sewer Commission, or should we have something like that?
So we don't typically post our land like that unless it's a restricted access or something like that. If
Okay.
if the board would like, we could, but you know, we don't typically post
Yeah.
lots like this.
No, I can understand your point. It's kind of like out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, but
There appears, from what I could see of the property, there appears to be a little building on it. I don't know if that's something that's not used anymore, but looks like it could have been for maybe a pigeon coop or a rabbit cage or cages or something like that. But I would, you know, if people are going to go on that property for purpose of, you know, doing whatever, you know, I'd be a little bit leery about what could go
Yeah.
on,
Yeah,
especially in today's day and age where people are looking for hiding places all the time.
Yeah.
Anyways, having said all that, does anybody have any questions about this or any objections to it?
I have an idea. I
Excuse
think
me?
we ought to, if that's the case, we take over the property, we have that building, whatever it is, demolished.
I would have no objection to that. I don't think it's not a big piece of.
No, because somebody's gonna set fire to it just for the heck of it and things like that, once they know it's nobody's using it, you know?
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can
So-
definitely have that looked into.
Yeah. I would say perhaps maybe we ought to, as Richard just said, that's a good point. Maybe we ought to consider taking a look at that property, Paul, and see what's on there. And if possible, get, you know, if there's anything that looks like somebody's going to go around and raise hell in there or something like that, to make every effort to either get rid of it or do something with it.
Not a problem, I will do that.
Okay. Now this has to go in front of the city council, am I correct?
Yes, it does.
And they're the final approval on it?
Yeah, I would imagine they may approve it or they may send it to real estate for discussion. And then it would have to go back to full council for
Yeah.
full council approval.
Yeah. I know there are there's some resistance on the council on some cases where has been made where the sewer commission has acquired properties in the past. And so, you know, unless the commission doesn't want to do this, I got no problem with it, but I would expect that though you could see some resistance from some people on the city council. Having
Yeah.
said all that, anybody who want to entertain a motion to approve the
I don't
offer?
think anybody would object to it, because the land is coming to us for free.
Yeah. Yeah, that you
You know what I
think,
mean?
I would think that would be the case, but I think there is some, there's some people on the commission that look at it in a different light. Anyways, we're being asked to, if we'd be interested in taking over this land. Outside of the fact that we need to take a look at the property and remove anything that's on the property that could be a hindrance to
Right.
us or to the city, then we got no problem with it. Anybody have any questions or any objections to it? If hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the acquisition of the land on Ash Street from the South Beacon LLC. Anybody want to make that motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second,
Roll call.
Member Souza,
Yes.
Member Bernia,
Yes.
Member Howiak,
Yes.
President Almeida.
Yes. Okay, moving along. Item 14. It's just updates on ongoing projects. I believe we were sent some information on that. This is strictly, from what I understand, for informational purposes. Am I correct, Mr. Perlin?
Yes.
All right. If anybody has any comments about it, or want to make a comment or discuss it, please bring it up now. If not, I'll entertain a motion to, not a motion, but I'll proceed to item number 15. Can I move to item number 15? Or is there any comments about item 14?
Nope.
Okay, I'll move to item number 15, other potential matters. Does anybody have any other potential matters? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
The only thing that I would like to bring up to the board, and you'll be seeing this, I'll be probably pulling together a meeting in the near future. We did receive bids yesterday on contract number 2, the solids processing upgrades at the wastewater treatment facility. They did come in a bit over estimate, which was expected based on the climate right now of commodities. The apparent low bidder was Daniel O'Connell's and Sons at $45,075,000. There's no vote required, no anything from the board. I just want to make the board aware of that. It is a large contract we're currently going through. We have worked with this contractor in the past, but we're still going through doing our due diligence to verify his bid and verify his qualifications. So just an informational point for the board.
Okay, just keep us posted as to how that goes along.
Yep.
Any other items, gentlemen, ladies? If not, I'll
Nope.
entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Member Souza,
Yes.
Member Bernia,
Yes.
Member Howiak,
Yes.
President Almeida.
Yes, thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time and stay well.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank
See
you.
you, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.